This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Dana Glomsky, and she is from the Alpena High School Maskers Club. Hi, Dana. How are you today?
I'm great.
I'm so glad to have you here, and as we were talking before, you are an award-winning playwright.
Yes, I am.
Yay. So tell me all about your troupe and how you became to be an award-winning playwright.
Well, first of all, I wrote this play for my Maskers Club at the Alpena High, and we did it as a murder mystery fundraiser at Trinity Episcopal Church, so if anyone came to see it. And then after that, we went to a festival called ITS, that's National Thespian Festival, and about 10 of us went, I believe it was 10, and a couple of us got to go into events. And Colin Marshall went into an event with his short film. I went into an event with my play and with a solo musical theater, and then Monica Smith also did a solo musical theater. And Colin Marshall and I, for his movie and my solo musical theater, got excellence. And then Monica Smith and I, for her musical theater and my play, got superior ratings.
Woohoo!
So that lets us go to nationals in Lincoln, Nebraska. And so we have applied for a grant that we can take our whole troupe to Nebraska. And if we get that grant, which we'll know next month, then we will definitely be doing some fundraisers so we can get our whole troupe to that big festival where everyone in the nation's going to be there.
Wow, would that be wonderful?
Oh, it's so exciting.
Well, congratulations to you and everyone else that was an award winner. And I know that being in the Maskers Club has been a very important part of your life. You've written plays, you've been in almost every production.
Yes.
And it's a great group at Alpena High School.
Oh, it definitely is. The Maskers Club is just a huge family. Like, our advisors, Heather Norton-Brock and Lisa Ray, they're like our parents, seriously. They just push us forward and support us in whatever we're doing in theater. And our Maskers Club is in both of the community theaters, Thunder Bay Theater and Civic Theater, so people should really come out and see the high school shows, because this is the upcoming talent that they're going to see in Broadway or Chicago or even in the local theaters.
Yes.
So.
And you have a production coming up in May?
Yes, we do. It is our musical. It's called No No Nanette. The show dates are May 2nd through the 4th, and that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. On Thursday, we have an evening show at 7:30. On Friday, we have an evening show at 7:30. Then Saturday, we have a matinee at 2 o'clock, and then another show at 7:30.
Oh, wow. Lots of opportunities for everyone to see it.
Oh, yes, definitely. And if anyone wants to come, ticket prices for adults are $10. For students, seniors, or staff, it's $5. And then for ITS members, it's $3.
Okay, very good. Now, how do you get to become an ITS member?
Well, an ITS member, it's, well, first off, ITS members are students that are big in theater. And this thing is only for high school students. And to become a thespian member, you have to have 10 points. And for 1 point, you have to do 100 hours of work, which is a lot. But it is so much fun. And you can do so many things: set building, directing, acting, costumes, props, just really anything in theater. And also you can get points for doing community theater.
Well, when I think of, the Maskers Club, what it's done for you, the doors that it's opened for you and will continue to open for you, it's a wonderful thing. And even if you don't go on to acting as a career, think of the things you've learned and the things that you can do. I mean, because you do every part of putting on a production at the Maskers Club.
Yes, the Maskers Club is definitely student run. Our advisors direct the show, but that's really it. for our last show, Midsummer Jersey, we had a person doing all the makeup, all the costumes, all the props, and all the students do set building. Really, our advisors are there to just make sure we're doing everything right and to teach us new things.
Okay, so we'll be looking for posters for your next production and,
Yes.
and listening for some plays that will be coming out, or some information on your new play, and then some fundraisers to raise money so you can all go to Nebraska.
Yes.
All right, and now you just finished up a production. How did that go?
Oh, it was fantastic. A mix in between Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream and Jersey Shore.
Oh, wow.
It was definitely a hilarious show.
Okay, and it was well received in the community.
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay, wonderful. So tell me some other good things about the Maskers Club. Is it still time? Can people still join?
Oh yes, definitely. We have meetings every Tuesday from 2:45 to 3:30, and we do awesome workshops like showing kids how to use our light board in the back, show people how to move sets quietly during a production, how to build sets, body movement through character, just really anything. We teach everything and anything, and also the actual clubs is student run.
Okay.
So the whole Maskers Club is just completely student run.
And now you did a talent show recently, and that was unbelievable.
Yes, we had an awesome turnout. And it wasn't a talent show, it was like Alpena's Got Talent.
Ah.
We had a robot dancer, we had a cheer team, we had musicians of every kind, singers, trumpeters, flautists, anything. It was fantastic.
And a lot of times people don't realize the talent that we have in our community. I mean, if you don't go to the theater. So I would, like you said, encourage people to go to Alpena Civic Theater, Thunder Bay Theater, come and see Maskers Club productions, go to all the musical events that are held in our community. Alpena has talent.
Oh yes, it definitely does.
Now, you have a number for us for...
Yes, any questions, you can call my advisor, Heather Nortonbrock. Her number is 989-884-1075.
Okay, very good. And then I'd like to hopefully later on this year get you back again to talk about your hoop house and your classes and your stone soup and farm and all the things you're going to be doing this summer too, okay?
Sure, why not?
Okay, thank you so much, Dana.
Thank you.
I'll be right back with some information about adoption from Child and Family Services following these messages. Hi, welcome back. My next two guests are both from Child and Family Services. I have Jennifer Alsup and Ashley Garza. Hi, ladies, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here. I'm so glad to have someone from Child and Family Services. It's been a long time since I've had anyone, and I know that programs change all the time, and as we talked earlier, there's lots of myths and misconceptions out there. And today we're actually going to talk about foster care.
Right.
So I'm going to start with you, Ashley. Tell me about foster care, what it is.
Sure. Foster care provides temporary services when there are issues of abuse and neglect in the home. Child Protective Services comes in and temporarily removes the children, and then we set up services with the birth family to try and alleviate those circumstances and return the children home.
Okay, and Jen, you actually license the homes, and I'm hoping that there's an awful lot involved in the licensing process.
There is. It's
Yay!
very invasive. We're encouraging a lot of people to come out to our orientations if they're interested in foster care to become foster parents. But it is a process. We need to learn about their financial situation. You don't have to be rich, but we need to make sure that you can pay your bills. I need to assess your house and make sure it's safe for children. And you need to have a physical to make sure that you're healthy enough to have a child in your home. So there's a lot that goes into the process, but in the end, it justifies the means, because in the end, you can help children in Alpena and keep them in Alpena.
Okay. And what are some of the misconceptions about foster care?
I think Jen kind of mentioned some of them, like in order to be a foster parent, you have to be rich or you have to be married. You have to be willing to take in all kinds of children, which isn't the case. Foster parents have a lot of say in what kind of children they're willing to accept. Some people believe that Child Protective Services just goes in and grabs kids and takes them away for no reason, which isn't true. They have to have very, very good reason to remove the children from the home, and most of the time it's issues of abuse or neglect. It could be physical abuse, emotional, mental abuse, all versions of neglect. such as medical neglect, educational neglect. If the children aren't being well taken care of, then they have to remove them from the home. But the goal is always to return them back to where they came from.
And I can imagine that situations come up with families, things that happen that you don't anticipate happening, and there's reasons that children may have to be removed.
Right.
And is the hopes that it's always temporary?
Yes, absolutely. The sooner the possible we can get them returned home, the better. And what we definitely are in need of are people who are willing to take in these kids for a short period of time. Sometimes parents aren't able to alleviate the circumstances that brought the children into care, and the parental rights can be terminated. And then at that point, the children become eligible for adoption. So then we're also in need of families who are willing to adopt older children or children who have been in foster care.
I can imagine that homelessness is a real common reason for your children having to go into foster care. What do you do if you're losing your home or something happens? I mean, you have to have a warm, safe place for your children.
Sure, and that's part of the foster care system is you're assigned a worker, a special social worker who works with you in finding housing or whatever your needs are, getting financial assistance, if substance abuse is an issue, getting you in treatment, and they walk you through that process. That's so you can get your children back into your home.
So you don't just go take the children out and then just let them fix the problem on their own. It's wonderful the support systems are in place. And Jen, I'm sure there's support systems in place for the foster families also.
Absolutely. The worker, usually through DHS, is the kind of foster care that is in Alpena. A foster family would work with that worker. That worker would come to the house at least once a month and see how the children are doing, see how the family's doing, address any issues that the foster kids are displaying in the home. And then they also have the support of myself, because I'm the one that licensed their home, and I'm kind of advocating for them to DHS and the state, saying, hey, this is a great home, we need to take care of these people because, you know, they're doing something they don't have to do.
Okay. And now the foster families get some type of financial assistance?
They do.
And what kind of assistance do they get?
They receive a daily rate depending on the age and needs of the child. It's nowhere near enough, the cost to actually take care of a child, so you won't be making any money actually doing foster care. But the other rewards are you're making a difference in a child and family's life. You're empowering individuals to change their circumstances, and our hope is a foster child will be able to feel loved and safe and secure in a foster home.
Okay. So if you're a family that has an empty bedroom at your house and you would meet some of the other criteria and you have some time on your hands, you'd probably be a good candidate for foster care.
That sounds like an ideal candidate for foster care.
Okay. And then you said you have a choice, so like if someone's interested in foster care, they don't want a baby, and they don't want like a teenager, but they would like someone like the 5-6-year-old, they could have a say-so in that.
Absolutely. They can choose the gender of the child they want in their home. If a child is exhibiting certain kind of behaviors that you don't think you can handle, you can definitely say that. And then you can also choose the age of the child, and some people only want babies, they only want teenagers, or anywhere in between. We definitely have a need for foster families who are willing to take in teenagers. That teenagers seem to be hard placed nowadays.
Okay, and yes, I can understand that. And so you're having 2 orientations coming up.
Yep.
And when are they going to be?
The first one is next Tuesday from 6 to 9.
Okay.
And the next one is Saturday the 22nd from 1 to 4 p.m.
And where will they be held?
They'll be held at our office at Child and Family Services.
Okay, and what territory and what area do you cover?
We cover all of Northeast Michigan. I'm not sure how many
From
counties.
Sheboygan on down to Ogama.
Okay.
Yep.
So there would be, if someone in one of those other areas is listening or is interested in foster care.
Yep.
Okay.
And definitely spread the word. If you know, maybe you and yourself aren't interested in being a foster parent, but you think of another family that might be a good fit for them, definitely come to orientation and just learn a lot of information about foster care and adoption.
Now, does the family have to have a spare, an extra bedroom for the child, or are they allowed to bunk with another child? How does that all work?
In some instances, you can share a room.
Okay.
As long as the room is at least 8 by 10.
Okay.
2 kids can go in there per state of Michigan licensing requirements.
And is there a place, like online, someone could look to find out what all the requirements for licensing is?
Absolutely. You can just Google foster home licensing requirements, and it outlines what your home should look like, financials, and things like that.
Or michigan.gov/DHS would be a good place to start. On the left panel is a licensing link, and that'll take you to a lot of the information and policies that we abide by.
Okay, and it sounds like it's something that's rewarding, exciting, fun, a chance to be a mentor, share your life with a child in the community until they're ready to go back with their parents.
Right.
Okay, so probably don't come into foster care with the ideology that you're going to keep that child.
Absolutely, we want to stress that.
Yes.
Because reunification is most always the #1 goal in a child's life, because those are their parents, you know.
Yes.
The foster parents might be able to provide a beautiful house and a great family environment, but that's mom and dad that they're taken away from.
Oh, yes, yes, and no one can, have the child like the parents. I
Right.
agree with that. Okay, so how do we get involved? What's our next step?
Well, you can visit our website.
Okay.
We're at www.cfsnemi.org.
Okay.
Which is a bunch of letters.
Okay.
It's basically Child and Family Services Northeastmichigan.org.
Okay.
Just
Just the acronym.
Okay,
Or you can reach us by calling me. I'm the licensing worker, 356-4567 at extension 213.
okay,
And then if you're interested in coming to one of our orientation meetings,
Okay.
you can call myself at 989-356-4567, extension 211.
Well, I want to thank both of you very much for being here today. I learned a lot about the foster care system that I didn't know, and like we had talked earlier, there's so many myths and so many things out there. It's good to get it from the source of people who are actually out there in the trenches and making it work and making it successful and protecting the children in our communities.
Well, thank you for
Absolutely.
having us.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Please stay tuned for Dr. Olin Jointon following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Jointon, president of Alpena Community College. My guest this morning, returning to the show, Dean of Workforce Development, Don McMaster. Welcome to the show, Don.
Well, thanks for having me, Olin. I appreciate it.
And you have an even more elevated title than the one I just quoted, which is Sustainability Champion at Alpena Community College.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me what that means.
Well, as I understand it, that means myself and my co-sustainability champ, facilities director Tom Ludwig, are tasked with looking at ways where green initiatives or sustainability, energy-saving things can be done to support the college. And Tom, of course, on the facility side, does a great job in swapping out lights and looking at ways where we can be more efficient and spend less on energy, and that's significant. That's green. That's real green.
Reducing our footprint.
Reducing our footprint. Yeah, that's green that has a substance behind it. My work in sustainability goes in a number of directions, but I think what we're here to talk about today is work I've been doing with a Department of Labor grant and a green building sustainability workshop we're going to host for the community in March.
Well, good. Yes, your particular emphasis in sustainability at ACC and championing that effort is how that concept gets worked into our curriculum. How does it come out in the instructional activities, the educational programs that we offer? And it's really flourished under your leadership, and we're here to talk today about a particular set of programs on green building by a person who's done good work on our campus before and with our students, Bruce Frost of Central Michigan University.
Absolutely, yeah. Bruce is a wonderful guy and deeply knowledgeable about green building, and he's done good work for us in a number of areas. He's taught online builders courses, developed them and rolled them out, and we offer those statewide. And he's also a guy who won a national award from National Association of Home Builders for his delivery and understanding of green building concepts. So under a Department of Labor grant we've been working with Bruce to bring green building, sustainability, green manufacturing curriculum to Alpena Community College specifically. And he's done that. And so he has 3 seminars lined up for this spring, and they occur on 3 weekends. There's a Friday session that runs from 2 to 9. And then a Saturday session that runs from 8 to noon. He's covering green building sustainability on a deep level in those.
What are you talking about? How to insulate your house better, or select a furnace that might be more efficient than normal? What are some of the...
Yes, those are topics he's going to talk about, but he also talks about them on a deeper level, HVAC systems, insulation. He talks about LEED, that sort of criteria. He talks about the green certifications that are out there, some of which are real pertinent to industries locally. And then the second part of it, the Saturday piece, would be very interesting to folks who have a builder's license, because that covers the content that people are responsible for in what's called continuing competency. So every 3 years, people need to document that they're getting 3 hours of training, and this course would cover that for folks.
I was wondering how it tied into the training requirements for home builder licensure in Michigan that came in 2 or 3 years ago. Is it a 60-hour requirement?
Correct. For people who want to get a builder's license, they have to take a 60-hour course, which only approved provider can deliver.
Which Bruce did for us.
Correct.
2 or 3 iterations, I believe.
He did. We worked together. He developed the curriculum, and he rolled it out on site a number of times, and then we put it in an online format, which has turned out pretty well for us. We have probably 2 or 3 people a week.
So once you've done that training for your 60-hour requirement to get your license, to keep your license, you still have to come back for upgrading and updating.
Yes, very good.
That's what this would do.
Yep, this will cover that for folks. So if you're out there and you have a builder's license and you need the continuing competency, these seminars are free of charge, and there's a lot more to it than the continuing competency.
Free of charge, huh? Very
yes,
good.
Free of charge.
Good.
Free of charge.
And so are some of them more suitable for professional home builders and others for the average homeowner and do-it-yourselfer?
I think that's the primary audience, but I think just I think folks who are just interested in sustainability as a general concept will be intrigued. He has a section in the Friday evening piece that talks about the Kyoto Accords and what those are. And we see those in the news, and I have to say I recognize the term, but I don't know really what it's about.
I believe the United States is among the few industrialized nations that has not signed on to that agreement. As we bring the program to a close, how about giving the audience any information about where to find the details, the location, the dates and times, and any registration procedures?
We'll do there are 3 sessions. So Friday and Saturday, March 22nd, 23rd is session 1. Session 2 is Friday, Saturday, April 5th and 6th. Session 3, Friday, April 19th, April 20th. Courses will be held at the WCCT, the World Center of Concrete Technology at Alpena Community College, free of charge.
Registration required?
Yes. Contact Catherine Maharg at the college. She will register you. And I do want to note that we have some sponsors who have helped us out, and I just want to mention them. Alpena Supply being one of Building Express, Home Builders Association, Home Depot, ProBuild. Those are the local ones.
Very good. Well, thank you very much for being on the program today.
Thank you, Olin.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Jointon. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.